Hi, so in this video we are going to see how to build table with Material UI, how you can build a basic or a beginner friendly table with Material UI. They actually have provided a lot of components for building tables. You will see tables in many websites, so we can actually build tables very easily with Material UI because they actually provided some pre-made component for us. So in the last video we have seen this form, how to build this form, and today we are actually going to see how to build a table. So I'll just go to the code and we'll remove this previous code so that we can actually code how to build a table. Okay, so if I go to the documentation and search for table, you can actually make a table very easily by copying the code from here. And if I show you, you just have to copy it from here. And so I won't just copy it for showing you. I'll just type them out, and I will try to explain a little bit how to what to use and when. So I will just go to my code first, and they actually have take a table container first. So they actually wrapped it with the whole table, wrapped it with the whole table, and they also say the minimum width. So they actually do we can actually start code here now. So we will first take table container, how they actually took it, and we'll wrap it to the table. And we have one more thing to do that they actually have done. They made it a paper so that it get a, a background or something like paper. I have actually shown you the paper component, so I will also make it paper component will be paper or something like that. Okay, there will be no quotation like this. Okay, now if it actually have to import it from Material UI, if you see here. Okay, so now we have wrapped the table with table container, and it actually holds the whole table. So you can now use here access property and other properties. And inside the table container we have table. Here we will make the table header and table body, table rows and cells. So the next step will be like, if we go here, they actually have look at table head. So it will be the header of the table, and this one. Okay, so if we also take table head, inside this table head we have a table row, single row. This row, single row, they are talking about this row. Okay, so we also take a table row if we want a table row. Okay, then in this table row we can actually take multiple cell as we want. We will just take let's say 4 table cells. So I'll just type table cell, and I'm also importing them from the Material UI. If you go to the top of the section, top of the page, you will see I have imported table row, table head. Okay. Then I wanted to make 4 cell in the table row. For now, I will just take 2. So I can say name, and the second column will be like the age. If we now go to the output, go to see the output, let's see, yeah, that is our table, two column with table head, one row. So we don't actually want that to spread all over our website. We actually want it max width, so that okay, we can say max. Okay, we can also say sx property. So now we can say max width will be like let's say 600 pixel or something. If I save it, okay, it actually becomes 600 pixel. I won't say 600 pixel, I will say max width would be say let's say 90%, so that it is a little bit responsive. It will be a little bit responsive. I also want some, I want it in the middle, so I will say max with it. So I'll say mx margin in the xy will be auto, so it will be in the middle of the x-axis, and I also want some margin from the top, so I will say margin from the top 10. So it is actually now a little bit looking nice. And I also want the elevation property of the paper, so I can say elevation 8. So the background color will be changed a little bit. Then I can also take another column. I'll just say another cell for email or something like that. So it is becoming 3. If I go here and try to see these things and try to see, okay, and there are a lot of types of table here. You can use any of these. You can customize also if you want, but I'll just go with the basics ones and show you the things how can you use them. So now if I go to the next part, then the next part will be like creating this body, this datas. Okay, for now I will just type it out, but in the real world you will get some JSON file or JSON object. You will get some data from the backend, then you will use them in here. So I'll show you how to use them. There is a website that provides JSON data where you can generate and copy data. I'll show you a little. Wait a second. So the next thing we have to build is the table body. For the table body, so if we actually go and code this, so we have to go after the table head. So I'll just comment here table body, then I'll say table body, and I will import it from material UI. Then we have in the table body we have rows. It is actually defining every rows after one. So I'll also say table row. I'll make like table row. I will make let's say three rows. Okay, in the first row, I will also take a cell, table cell. I will take a cell. So I will say table cell. So it is the first row and the first column. So I will first column is for the name. So I will say John Cena. So the first row, first column will be John Cena. You can see here, and I can give the age also if I copy it here, and it is in the first row, and a second cell age will be like 48 or something. So it will be here. Then I can say the email will be johnsina@gmail.com. So if we go here now, it is actually now showing it here. We can also take another column if we want. So but we are now just going with three properties. We'll actually also can go more if we want. There will be a scroll bar in the bottom, so don't worry. And now we can move into the second row, and I'll just copy it from here. And if I go to the second row, then I can also paste, and I can change the name like Matthew Hawker or something like that. I can also say age will be 58, and the email will be matthew23@gmail.com. If I go to the output now, this is for the Matthew Hawker. So we will not actually uh, insert data like that. We will actually create data from here. We can actually say first name, last name, email, gender, and I am not IP address. I don't want IP address. I want personal something personal. I can say job title. So I'll make it for the job. Then uh, if I now I have to actually create the preview. Sorry for the download option. I didn't want to download. So it is actually previewing, but I actually wanted the JSON format, so I will change it to JSON. And I don't want 1000 rows. I just want, like, for example, for now I just want 10 rows. Okay, so it is JSON, and now I will preview and it will give me a JSON format. Okay, so I will copy it and I will go to my code, and I will just paste this data here. If I paste, I can say data, and I can paste it here. I have saved it. So I have now a lot of data here. I can actually map through it, and I can actually use this data. How I will map through it, let me show you. I will go to the table body, and I will say data dot map. I will map through. I will get every object here. I am actually restructuring the object. So first I'll get ID, then first name, then I will get last name, then I will get email, and then I'll get gender, then I'll get the job. I'm actually can see everything here. Visual Studio Code is giving me the suggestion ID, first name, last name, email, gender, job. So it is actually now if I go to the inside of this function, then I have to first return property like table row. I have to actually, there is an error. Let me see. Expression is unexpected. I think I have done something wrong here. Let me just figure it out. Okay, I just have to cut it from here to, I have to also put a parenthesis here. So now I can paste it here. So it is now okay. The error is gone. So I have this ID first name. I will say, so every time I am creating a table row for every object, I will say key will be ID. So it will be unique. So then in the table row, I'll take table cell, table cell, and here I will just try to output the things I have taken from the data. So this is indicating the first name, and like this I will copy it down and I'll just paste one by one so that the table becomes a little bit dynamic. So if I now save it, and I didn't actually change this one, let's see what happens. Okay, if we go to our output, you can see here, uh, you can see everything here, that we have name, first name, it will be first name, it will be last name, this will be email, this will be gender, this will be the job title. So we are getting a lot of data is here. You can see a table. We actually have to change this row, the header. We'll go to the header, and the first is the first name, and the second one is for the last name, and the third one is email, and the fourth one is for gender, I guess, and the fifth one will be job title, job they are doing. So this is the table, a basic table. If you want to customize it, you can just go here and try to customize it if you want. You can also build like this. You can build like this table. Just have to take a data grid and then define rows, columns, and page size. The page size you can actually it will be page. Then you can also build a table, a smaller compact size table if you want. They actually yes, define the size is small. We can also copy it from here and can go to our table, I guess. Yes, table. If we go here, table size is smaller. It is now a compact table. So then we have this one. What they actually used is you can use checkboxes if you want. You can use checkboxes if we just copy it from here. Then they actually also used some variables to check if it is checked or not. You can also copy this code and try to this is for short try to check this is checked or not. Okay, this is comparator, this is sorting, this is for sorting. If we just copy this checkbox and paste it here, what happens, let's see. Actually we actually having error. Okay, I'll just press close it, and if we just comment this out, and if we have to import this checkbox. If we go to our okay checkbox, now this is check yes, now we can have checkbox. We actually have take another column in the header, so we also will go in the header section and tell here to give a checkbox. Okay, now this is also working. Or also we can make it empty cell, so I can also say table cell and keep it empty if I want. I don't want checkbox here. So this is checkbox. You cannot track them and use them in your code. Then the next thing is this one. If you want to use this, you can to it. Like, I think they used different component, or they have styled this. They actually have made this styles. They actually passing the color, what would be the color, and based on this they are actually changing the color. So this one you can also do it. This one you can just copy this code and then you can make use this component. Okay, the next thing is this one. You can also check the code and use it. They also used the same table container, table, then table body, and table body, table row. Then you can make the header sticky. They actually sticky header, they actually defined it here. If we also go to our code and go to table and say sticky header, and now if we go, we actually don't have a scroll bar because our data is very limited. So I will just make it like 1000 for now. If we just now preview, and we have to copy the whole code. I'll just copy it from here, and okay, let's just copy it, and then I'll just go to my, I can also make another file to use this one, use this. For now I'll just copy it here, so it will become very nasty. It will become very nasty, I know. Let me just copy it here. I have copied, and if I go to the output now, it is a long table. The header is not actually sticky, but I think I have to say also wrap a paper outside of this table container. I'll just copy this code and try to wrap the whole table container with this paper. Let's see. So I'll just cut this ending code and go to the table container. After table container, I'll paste it here. Go now if we go now, it is not yet actually working. Let's see. Okay, we can go to our code. With this 100% workflow will be hidden, so I'll just not try to give these codes. Let's see what happens. This is not yet working. Let me just go to documentation. Let's say they are giving a max height so that it scrolls. So we'll also give a max height. We can give it here, the table container, and in the xx property we can say max height will be, they said 400, we say 500 pixel, 500 or something. Now it is, and the header is actually sticky, and we can also paste the previous code if we want. Actually, okay, let me just pull them out, and also max width max width will be like 90%, as we actually defined it before. So okay, we actually mx, what happened here? Okay, and I'm missing a comma. Okay, now it should be in the middle. Yes, and we have a paper background here. We actually don't want it, so we can remove it by say elevation 0. If we give elevation 0, then it is gone. Now the header is a sticky one, So you can see you can make a sticky header like this. You can copy and see code here and use them in your code. And this is a little bit advanced. You can also do this if you want. They will actually use an icon and a toggler. Here they will actually use state variable to manage this. Like this you can use everything. So in this video I have shown you how to use table, a basic table, how can you customize it, how can you use things from the documentation. I think the best thing is learning from the documentation. If you can do this, and next time you will need no one like me to watch a video. You can just write a go to the documentation and copy code and paste it in your code and try to use it. So you will face some error, but eventually it will be helpful. So I will provide this website in the description, don't worry. So see you in the next video.